Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, 4th chapter, verse 55. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikithir Halladini Shaktirasman. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikithir Halladini Shaktirasman. Ekatmano api bhuvi puradeha bhedam gatotto. Ekatmana api bhuvi puradeha bhedam gatotto. Chaitanyakyam prakatam adhuno tadvayam chaikyam aptam. Chaitanyakyam prakatam adhuno tadvayam chaikyam aptam. Radha bhavadviti suvaditam nomni Krishna swarupam. Radha bhavadviti suvalitam nomni Krishna swarupam. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikithir Alladini Shaktirasmat. Ekatmana bhuvi. Chaitanyakyam prakatam adhuno tadvayam chaikyam aptam. Radha bhavadviti suvalitam nauni Krishna swarupam. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikithir Alladini Shaktirasmat. Ekatmana api bhuvi puradeha vedam gatotto. Chaitanyakyam prakatam adhuno tadvayam chaikyam aptam. Radha bhavadviti suvalitam nauni Krishna swarupam. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikithir Alladini Shaktirasmat. Ekatmana bhuvi gatotto. Chaitanyakyam prakatam adhuno tadvayam chaikyam aptam. Radha bhavadviti suvalitam nauni Krishna swarupam. Synopsis. Radha, Srimati Radharani, Krishna of Lord Krishna, Pranaya of love, Vikrithi, the transformation, Halladini Shakti, pleasure potency, Asmat, from this, Ek Atmano, both the same in identity, Api, although, Bhuvi, on earth, Pura, from beginningless time, Bhedam, Deha Bhedam, separate forms, Gato, obtained, Tau, this too, Chaitanya Akhyam, known as Chaitanya Prakatam manifest Adhuno now Tadvayam the two of them Cha and Akyam unity Aptam obtain Radha of Srimati Radharani Bhava mood Dviti the lesser Suvalitam who is adorned with Namni I offer my obeisances Krishna Swarupam to him who is identical with Sri Krishna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestation of Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him, who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Kindly repeat. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestation of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This text is from the diary of Srila Swarupa Damodara Goswami. It appears as the fifth verse. It appears as the fifth of the first 14 verses of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Charitamrita. We'll start with prayers because this topic of Srimati Radharani is most confidential. It's not like ordinary topic. It's most advanced level of topic. So we'll start with prayers to Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadankitam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padhan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurange Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranimami Hari Priye Vancha kalpataruvyascha kripa sindhu evacha patitanam paunebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today is the most auspicious day, Radhastami, the appearance day of Srimati Radharani. She is the topmost devotee of Lord Krishna. And today we are going to talk about two subject matter. One is the position of Srimati Radharani and the mood, the service she offers to Krishna, that Krishna is also gets attracted. Krishna is called Madana Mohana. Madana means Cupid. In this material world, we are captivated by this Madana. And it is very tough to go out of that or can escape from the clutches of Madana. So, if you want to escape from that, you have to catch the feet of Krishna, who is called Madana Mohana. Krishna's beauty is so enchanting that even Cupid personified is attracted. And today is the appearance day of Srimati Radharani, and Radharani is called Madana Mohana Mohini. She even enchants Lord Krishna. Her service attitude, her way she does her service, that even enacts or enchants Lord Krishna. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, this is very elaborately described about the position of Srimati Radharani. In the Adi Lila, 4th chapter, it starts from verse 55. So Lord has many energies. Lord is called Satchidananda Vigraha. And Lord's even Shastra says, Parashya Saktir Vivadeya Suyati. So Lord has multi-energies and they are acting automatically. Lord does not need to interfere. Just like in the material world, Lord does not need to take complete part in that. It's happening automatically. And Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he does not need to enjoy in this material world. He is supremely pure. And when Lord is supremely pure, so Lord's enjoyment also will be supremely pure. In this material world, we are contaminated with lust, anger, greed. In fact, Krishna says that these all are inferior qualities. Like Bhumir, Apo, Nalo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, Buddhi, Revacha. So these all are inferior energies. And Lord does not take interest in that. Because there is always contamination in this. So Lord, He is supremely pure. So His pleasure potency also should be supremely pure. So Lord has Lord's pleasure potency can be divided into 3 categories. They are called as internal energies. One is called Samvit potency. Sandhini, Samvit and Alladini. So we'll talk today mostly about Alladini potency. It's called pleasure potency of the Lord. So Srimati Radharani is the transformation of Krishna's love. She is his internal energy called Alladini. So now this Alladini energy has 2 activities or functionalities. One is it gives pleasure to Lord Krishna. And the second, it nourishes his devotees. And this topic is very nicely described by Jiva Goswami in Preeti Sandarbha, where it is even further described very nicely. It is stated in the Vedas that Krishna is attracted by devotional service. Devotional service is that which attracts even Krishna. Only devotional service can lead one to the personality of Godhead. No other process. You may try Jnana Yoga, fruitive activities, but that will not lead to Supreme Lord Krishna. Only bhakti. Only devotional service can help a devotee meet the Supreme Lord face to face. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is attracted by devotional service. As such, the ultimate supremacy of Vedic knowledge rests in knowing the science of devotional service. Ultimate knowledge which we want to gain is to know the science of devotional service. And this is very nicely described by Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion. There are characteristics of pure devotional service or properties of pure devotional service. Can anyone list of that? Any of that? what are the benefits of devotional service, if I ask? Yeah, they're there. Uh, since I have time shortage, so I'll just. There are six. Yes, bro. Yeah, that is when we perform devotional service, then two things comes. One is knowledge and detachment. Rupa Goswami explains this very nicely in Nectar of Devotion. There are six important characteristics of devotional service. First is relief from material distress. This bhakti is so powerful. Rupa Goswami says there are we suffer from two uh, sinful activities. One is called mature and another is immature. Mature is one which we are suffering now. The distress we are suffering now, some disease. Another is immature, which is stored in our heart or chittam. It will manifest in few years or something. Prabhupada gives example of a criminal who is he has committed a criminal act, but in due course of time he will be detected, and once he is detected or is caught, or his police or the cop analyzes, oh, he has done this criminal activity, immediately there is a arrest warrant. He will be caught. The same way, this devotional service is in material world. There are two ways we suffer. One is mature and one is immature. The mature is one which currently we are suffering, and the immature is that which is stored in our heart, our chittam, that will be manifest in the course of time. So bhakti is so powerful. Here it says that in 11th canto, Krishna explains to Uddhava about the devotional service. It's so powerful. My dear Uddhava, devotional service unto me is just like a blazing fire which can burn into ashes, unlimited fuel supplied to it. The purport is that as the blazing fire can burn any amount of fuel to ashes, so devotional service to the Lord in Krishna consciousness can burn all the fuel of sinful activities. For example, Arjuna, he was fighting Kurukshetra war. He was practically killing people. It's a sinful activity, right? In the Gita, Arjuna thought that fighting was sinful activity, but Krishna engaged him on the battlefield under his order, so the fighting became devotional service. Therefore, Arjuna was not subjected to any sinful reaction. Further, Sukdev Goswami explains, even Ajamila, there's a beautiful example of Ajamila. Throughout his life, he was committing sinful activities. He was married to prostitute, he had 10 children, and to maintain that prostitute, he was killing, looting, all those he was doing. But at the end of his life, he chanted, Narayana! And immediately, Vishnudutta appeared. And he was given one more chance to perform devotional service. So that is the potency of this devotional service. Further, it is analyzed that why we commit this sinful activities and all. In the 4th canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sanat Kumar explains to king that, my dear king, false ego of human being is so strong that it keeps him in the material existence, as if tied upon the strong rope. Only a devotee can cut off the knot of this strong rope very easily by engaging themselves in Krishna consciousness. So this Krishna consciousness is so strong that false ego, we have strong false ego. Because material world, our real ego is what? Servant of Krishna. But now, when you come to this material world, we think our ego is very strong. Whatever I say, you have to do. We have lauding nature, extreme lauding nature. And that binds us in this material world, keeps us in this material world. And in this material world, we know Krishna, who is a creator of this material world, what he says, it is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, his place of birth, death, and old age and disease. He says even further that it is a Dukalayam Ashashvatam, it's a place of misery, and which is temporary. And how do we cut this false ego? Here, Prabhupada very nicely explains. Only the devotee can cut the knot of this strong rope very easily. By engaging themselves in Krishna consciousness, others who are not in Krishna consciousness but are trying to become great mystic or great ritual performer cannot advance like the devotees. Therefore, it is the duty of everyone to engage themselves in the activities of Krishna consciousness in order to be freed from the tight knot of false ego and engagement in material activities. And next, we now heard out relief from material distress. And next is Krishna consciousness is all auspicious. If you see in your own life how it is Krishna conscious auspicious, you can write down before Krishna conscious what you were, and after what were your, how changes has brought. So Rup Goswami gives this definition. He says that actual auspiciousness means welfare activities for all people of the world. At the present moment, group of people are engaged in welfare activities in terms of society, community, or nation. There is even an attempt to form United Nations for world health activity. But due to shortcoming of limited national activities, such general mass welfare program for the whole world is not practically possible. The Krishna consciousness movement, however, is so nice that it can render the highest benefit to the entire human race. Everyone can be attracted by this movement, and everyone can feel the result. Therefore, Rupa Goswami and other learned scholars agree that broad propaganda program for Krishna consciousness movement of devotional service all over the world is the highest humanitarian welfare activities. So it's the highest welfare activity, Krishna consciousness. You can see how we never see Krishna conscious person going out and shooting or something, right? He's fully peaceful. In fact, in Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ateva Shant. He's desireless. That's the reason he's peaceful. And one more, there's a verse that Harao Bhaktasya Kuto Mahatgunat. Krishna conscious person develops the qualities of demigods. He, just by becoming Krishna conscious or chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We become like a demigod. We acquire the qualities of all the demigods. And further, the third qualities are happiness in Krishna consciousness. In the material world, happiness can be derived into three categories, can be divided into three categories. Happiness derived from material enjoyment. One level of happiness is derived from material enjoyment. And the another is by Brahmananda, like impersonalist. They feel themselves, they merge in impersonal Brahman, they think that is greatest happiness. And one more happiness is derived from Krishna consciousness, like devotees. They chant, dance, have nice prasadam. So there is a quote, Lord Shiva explains to Mother Sati, Parvati, my dear wife, a person who has surrendered himself at the lotus feet of Govinda, who has thus developed pure Krishna consciousness, can easily awarded all perfections desired by the impersonalist. Beyond this, he can enjoy the happiness achieved by pure devotees. Happiness derived from pure devotional service is the highest because it is eternal. Other two processes like material happiness, it is limited. It has beginning and end. Adi Antavanta Kontiya. It has a beginning and end. Whereas impersonal Brahman also, it has a beginning and end because he may go to impersonal Brahman, but he cannot stay there. He has to come back. Whereas happiness which is derived in Krishna consciousness is eternal. And further it says, rareness of pure devotional service, the fourth characteristic. This pure devotional service is very rare, is not easy to get. In fact, Chaitanya Charitamrita says that many times we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but we are not conscious. We just somehow we have to complete whatever round which Prabhupada has said, like 16 rounds. We somehow complete that round. We are not so serious in that. We are just thinking, okay, it is casual, or we become familiar with that. So here, it is very nicely explained that rareness of pure devotional service. Lord Krishna does not give devotional service easily. He does not give bhakti so easily. Because if Lord gives bhakti, then you are purchasing the Lord. Lord will be under your control fully. So he is very careful. He may give you all liberation. He may give you up to point of liberation or merging into the Supreme Lord. All that opulence can be given, but he does not give bhakti. So there is a statement in a Tantra Shastra where Lord Shiva says to Mother Sati, "My dear Sati, if one is very fine philosopher, analyzing the different process of knowledge, he can achieve liberation." Somebody can, if he is a good philosopher, is a jnani, he can achieve up to liberation from material entanglement. By performance of all ritualistic sacrifice recommended in the Vedas, one can be elevated to the platform of pious activities, thereby enjoy the material comfort of life to the fullest extent. But all such endeavors can hardly offer anyone devotional service to the Lord, not even if one tries for it by such process for many thousands of birth. So you may try, but bhakti is not so easy. How do we get bhakti? Srimad Bhagavatam explains this. There's a beautiful example of Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj, that merely by personal effort or by instructions of higher authorities, one cannot attain that stage of devotional service. One must become blessed by the dust of the lotus feet of pure devotee, who is completely freed from all contamination of material desire. That's the reason when Prahlad Maharaj, when Narsimhadev wanted to give benediction to Prahlad Maharaj, at the time, Prahlad Maharaj did not want any benediction. He was saying, "I am not a businessman. That's for that purpose I worshipped you." Lord was eager to give him benediction, but he was saying no, no. So there's a beautiful verse, what he says. Evam janam nipatitam prabhavahi kupe kamabhikama anuya prapatan prasangat kritvatmasat surasena bhagavan grihita soham katam na vishaje tava bhritya sevam. So here is a translation. My dear Lord, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of my association with material desire, one after another, I was gradually falling into the blind well full of snakes, following the general populace. But your servant Narada Muni kindly accepted me as his disciple and instructed me how to achieve this transcendental position. Therefore, my first duty is to serve him. How could I leave his service? So here you'll see how Prahlad Maharaj is chanting this verse and is saying that first duty is to serve spiritual master, pure devotees who have given this Krishna consciousness. In fact, in the Vaishnava bhajan, it is said, "Krishna se tumara amito kangala." Krishna dite paro, Krishna se tumara, Krishna diti paro. So Krishna is a property of pure devotees. It's not that I can go directly to Krishna. Impossible. It's not at all possible. We have to go through parampara. We have to go through pure devotees, like we have Srila Prabhupada, through which we can achieve Krishna. And they are very eager to give Krishna. It's not that they are hiding, they don't want to give. They are very eager to give. But we have to go through this, through pure devotees. In fact, one more song comes. Tandera charana sevi bhakta sanivas janame janame hoy ei abhilash. And one should not be anxious to offer direct service to the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised that one become servant of the servant of the servant of Lord. Gopi Bharta Padakamalayo Dasa Dasanudasa. This is the process for approaching the Supreme Lord. First service should be rendered to the spiritual master so that by his mercy one can approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead to render service. While teaching Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. One can achieve the seed of devotional service by the mercy of Guru, the spiritual master. And then by the mercy of Krishna, this is the secret of success. So through two processes, one is by the mercy of pure devotee and one is by the Supreme Lord Himself. Even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya aprasadat nagadi kutopi. So one should not attempt to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead by concoction. One must first be prepared to serve the spiritual master, and when one is qualified, he automatically offers the platform of direct service to the Lord. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj proposed that he engage in the service of Narada Muni, and he never proposed that he engage directly in the service of the Lord. This is the right conclusion. Therefore, he said, Soham katam na vrishje tava britya sevam. How can I give up the service of my spiritual master who has favored me in such a way that I am now able to see you face to face? And the next So pure devotional service can be achieved only by the mercy of pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada. Next is happiness of becoming one with the Supreme. Even devotional service derates this point. Oneness means Brahmananda. Like impersonalists, they think we have to merge into the Supreme Lord. But if they merge in the Supreme Lord, their identity is lost. There's no question of service. Service comes when there are two, the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Rupa Goswami says that if Brahmananda or happiness becoming one with the Supreme is multiplied 1 trillion fold, still it cannot be compared with the atomic fraction of the happiness derived from the ocean of devotional service. So such a estimation is given. Devotional service so nice. In Hari Bhakti Sudhoya, Prahlad Maharaj, while satisfying Lord Narasimha by his prayer, says, My dear Lord of this universe, I am feeling transcendental pleasure in your presence. I have become merged in the ocean of happiness. And now I consider the happiness of Brahmananda to be no more than the water in the impression left by a half hoof in the earth, compared to this ocean of bliss. Similarly, it is confirmed in the Bhavrata Deepika, Sridhar Goswami, commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. My dear Lord, some of the fortunate persons who are swimming in the ocean of your nectar of devotion, who are relishing the nectar of narration of your pastimes, certainly know ecstasies, which immediately minimizes the value of the happiness derived from the religiousness, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. Such transcendental devotee regards any kind of happiness other than devotional service as no better than the straw in the street. So devotional service has such a potency that even Brahmananda cannot match. And now the last 6 characteristics of pure devotional service is it attracts Krishna. Devotional service is so potent that it can attract attention of Krishna. No other processes can do that. Jnana Yoga, fruitive activities, no. Rupa Goswami has stated that devotional service attracts even Krishna. Krishna attracts everyone, but devotional service attracts Krishna. The symbol of devotional service is the highest. The Bhakti Devi is Srimati Radharani. The symbol of devotional service is the highest degree is Radharani. Krishna is called Madana Mohana, which means he is so attractive that he can defeat the attraction of thousands of Cupid. But Radharani is still more attractive, for she even attracts Krishna. Therefore, devotees call her Madana Mohana Mohini, the attractor of Cupid. So in Vrindavan, devotees all the devotees place under the shelter of Radharani. And you'll see everyone calling Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe. They'll not utter Krishna's name. To perform devotional service means to follow in the footstep of Srimati Radharani and the devotees in Vrindavan. The devotees in Vrindavan put themselves under the care of Srimati Radharani in order to achieve perfection in their devotional service. So we all devotees also put ourselves under the care of Srimati Radharani, and she takes care. In other words, devotional service is not an activity of material world. So devotional service is under the care of Srimati Radharani. Radharani is internal potency of Krishna. So this devotional service is not of activities of material world. It is transcendental. It is directly under the control of Srimati Radharani. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Mahatmanas, or the great soul, are under the protection of Devi Prakriti. Mahatmanastu mampata Devim Prakriti Ashrita. So Mahatmas, the great devotees, are under the protection of internal potency. We all are under the protection of Maya Devi, material nature. So being directly under the control of the internal potency of Krishna, devotional service attracts even Krishna himself. In Krishna himself explains about devotional service in level 12th canto, first verse. My dear Uddhava, you know it from me that attraction I feel for devotional service rendered by my devotee is not to be attained even by performance of mystic yoga, philosophical speculation, or ritualistic sacrifice. The study of the Vedanta or practice of severe austerities or giving everything in charity, these are of course very nice activities, but they are not so attractive to me as the transcendental loving service rendered by my devotees. In fact, when gopis they met Krishna in Dwarika, they said that Lord Krishna was so obliged that he said, I cannot give you anything. I don't have anything that I can give you back. So he says that be satisfied with your service. So that is the potency of devotional service, that Lord also cannot give it back. My dear Krishna, I thought you are the cousin brother, and so I have shown disrespect to you. So this is Arjuna's statement when he saw that Vishwarupa form. And so many ways calling you Krishna or friend, but you are so great that I could not understand. So that was the position of Pandavas. Although Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the greatest among all great, still he remained with those royal brothers, being attracted by their devotion. So Lord Krishna is Akhila Brahmanda Nayaka. He's the greatest, he's the creator, he's the original person. Now you can just see his position. He's the greatest of all. He's the Janma Adyasyata, is the cause of creation, sustenance, and destruction. And he is like menial servant to Pandavas. He was just roaming behind. He was like a chariot driver. Whatever Yudhishthir Maharaj used to say, immediately Krishna would follow. So you see that devotion. Pandavas had that level of devotion that Krishna was eager to render service. That is the proof of how great this process of devotional service. It can attract even the supreme personality of Godhead. God is great, but devotional service is greater than God because it attracts him. People who are not in devotional service can never understand what great the value there is in rendering service to the Lord. So these are the 6 characteristics of devotional service. The first is it relief from material distress. Krishna consciousness is all auspicious. Happiness in Krishna consciousness. Rareness of pure devotional service is so rare. The happiness of becoming one with the Supreme, it also derates, or even it is higher than the one of happiness derived from Brahmananda. And it is the only way in which we can attract Krishna. Further, we'll understand about Halladini potency, the potency of Lord Krishna. What is the particular attraction that makes Supreme Lord enthusiastic to accept devotional service? And what is the nature of such service? The Vedic scripture inform us that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth, is self-sufficient. Lord is self-sufficient. And that Maya, nescience, can never influence him at all. As such, the potency that overcomes the Supreme must be purely spiritual. Maya cannot touch the Supreme Lord. Such potency cannot be anything of material manifestation. The bliss enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be of material composition. The bliss enjoyed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead cannot be of material compositions. Lord does not take pleasure in this material world. His pleasure is completely different. Devotional service is reciprocation between the two. Therefore, it cannot be located simply with oneself with one. So it cannot be one like Brahmananda, they say, no? Merging in the Supreme. It cannot be. Devotional service happens when there are two. The Supreme Lord and his devotees. So Lord has three potency. One is called, that is called internal potency. Namely, Halladini Shakti, the pleasure potency. Sandini Shakti or existential potency. Or samvit potency, cognitive potency or knowing potency. So Halladini is the personal manifestation of the blissfulness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by which he enjoys pleasure. So through Halladini potency, Lord enjoys. Because the pleasure potency is perpetually present in the Supreme Lord, the theory of impersonalism that the Lord appears in the material mode of goodness cannot be accepted. So this Halladini potency is not of this material world. Like in material world, we have three potencies like goodness, passion, and ignorance. Lord is above goodness. He's in Shuddha Sattva. He's not of the even material mode of goodness. Impersonalists, they think that Lord appears in the mode of goodness. No, that is totally negated. When the pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord is exhibited by His grace in the person of a devotee, that manifestation is called love of Godhead. That same pleasure potency, when it is exhibited by His grace, by the Lord's grace by the devotee, it calls love of Godhead. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Prema Artho Mahan. Even this Prema, the love of Godhead, is Panchama Purushartha. Panchama Purushartha. There are four Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. And above this is this love of Godhead. Therefore, devotional service reciprocated between the Lord and His devotee is an exhibition of transcendental pleasure potency of the Lord. So that's the reason it counts under the transcendental nature. So further it explains that Halladini is the accept of bliss, like a pleasure potency. Sandhini is of existential existence, and samvit is cognizance, knowing, which is also accepted as knowledge. There's a term used called Suddha Sattva. I'll explain that now. There are two terms. One is called Vishuddha Sattva and one is called Shuddha Sattva. So all this category of potencies, internal potencies, come under the category of Vishuddha Sattva. The potency called Sandhini potency is it comes under Shuddha Sattva. It is a potency which exists. Exists in the sense Krishna's paraphernalia exists, Krishna's abode exists, Krishna's dham exists. Like here it is explained. Krishna's mother, father, abode, house, bedding, seat, so on are all transformation of Suddha Sattva. So this all Krishna's abode is a transformation of Suddha Sattva. Lord Krishna's father, mother, household affairs are all displayed in the same Vishuddha Sattva existence. All living entity situated in the status of pure goodness can understand the form, quality, and other features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna consciousness begins on the platform of pure goodness, although there is a faint realization of Krishna at first. Krishna is actually realized as Vasudeva, the absolute proprietor of omnipotence, or the supreme predominating deity of all potencies. When the living entity is situated in the Suddha Sattva, Vishuddha Sattva, the transcendental to the three modes of material nature, he can perceive the form, quality, and other features of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his service attitude. The status of pure goodness is the platform of understanding, for the Supreme Lord is always spiritual existence. So this can be understood by service attitude. And Radharani is the topmost. Further, it explains that Radharani is the source, like Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnations. Radharani is the fountainhead of all incarnations of consorts of Krishna. Like there are three consorts of Krishna. One is the inhabitants of Vrindavan. They are called Vrajavadu, gopis. The other is the Lakshmis. They are inhabitants of Vaikunta. They have the similar form. Thousands of Lakshmis. And another is the inhabitants of the wives of Dwarika. One is called Vilasa Vaibhava. The Lakshmis are called Vilasa Vaibhava. They have, and the image of Radharani is Dwarika, the wives of queens of Dwarika. So they are called Prakasha. And Vrajavadus are close, intimate associates of Radharani. So they are divided into three categories. And among them, Srimati Radharani is the highest. Why she is highest? Because she has emotion, that bhava. In fact, this Krishna consciousness, the term Prabhupada had coined by word Krishna Mati Rasa Bhavita. So this Krishna consciousness is coined by Srila Prabhupada by using this verse from Rupa Goswami. The Krishna Mati Rasa Bhavita Kotil Sukritina Labhyate. So this word is coined by Srila Prabhupada by using this term from the statement Krishna Mati. This, our consciousness should be imbibed, or it should be soaked in Krishna, in bhakti towards Krishna. Currently our consciousness is soaked in material things. We take great pleasure in material things. We want highest material satisfaction. Everything what we want is for our enjoyment. But that leads to nowhere. In fact, Krishna says that material enjoyment leads to entanglement in this material world. We repeat the cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. And we be in this material world. But if you want bhakti, if you want to cross these layers, like in fact, these material layers are very tough to cross. Each layer is 10 times higher. Like earth, water, fire, air, ether. So each thick, they are like a thick layer. It's not so easy to cross. In fact, in Chaitanya Charitamrita says that if you may go on chanting for millions of years, but you will not achieve that if you don't follow a right process. If you follow a right process, then it is easier to cross. At last, it comes like an ego that is even more thicker. It's very tough. So this bhakti is so powerful that we can easily cross this all layers. It's by the mercy of pure devotee and Krishna. By their mercy, it's very easy. But to acquire their mercy, we have to do bhakti very nicely. So Srimati Radharani is the epitome of service. Her service attitude is in a different level altogether. Sometimes we do service for Krishna's service, but there's always like all this anarthas manifest. Like pride, ego, we don't gel with one another. Imagine in spiritual world, we have to be together. If you have to go to spiritual world, we have to be in together. We cannot fight there because that's a word where there's no fight. There everyone is engaged in Supreme Lord, service to the Supreme Lord. There's each step is a dance, each word is a song. And imagine we are in this temple, Prabhupada says this temple area is also transcendental. It's called embassy, spiritual embassies. And here also we fight for doing some small activities, surveys. We don't give up. That's the biggest problem. We don't listen. Whatever our higher devotees they say, we think, no, what I told is right. How we can achieve Radharani's favor? In fact, sometimes all this counts in our life. Like the pride, ego, everything we should keep it aside when you come to this devotional platform. If we don't keep aside, we carry with us, then it is very tough. Krishna says, okay, be in this world. You want to enjoy this world? Enjoy. Up to you. Whatever you want to do, you do. But you cannot cross the layers of this material world. If you want to cross these layers of material world, then you have to follow the system. Sometimes we do whimsically things, thinking that, oh, what I have decided is right. No. That's the reason Vaishnavas always consult. They don't take decision directly. One devotee will consult his higher authorities. He'll not do independent decisions. He'll always consult. He'll ask, Prabhu, it is right. Is right. Should I do this way? Should I do this way? So always there is a constant consultation goes on. In fact, we are so fortunate being born in this age that Lord has appeared just 5,000 years ago. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has just appeared 500 years ago. And this is a particular time where Lord appears. And imagine you would have appeared in 1950s, 1940s, World War. Tough situation. Chanting, saving our life is our first priority at that time. What about chanting, devotional service? That is all secondary. Will not take. So we have to be very careful, cautious that, oh, this time is very good. It's the most favored time. Future, we don't know what will happen. So we have to be very serious in doing devotional service. Whatever service we get. It may be chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So chanting or doing any service, we have to be very careful. And with heart we have to do. It's not that, oh, Prabhu has said, somehow I have to, with force I have to do. No, with heart. Devotional service should start with heart, with pure heart, with no any other contamination. It is said, we have to do it. Prabhupada very nicely explains this service attitude of how Radharani does service. This is a letter, is a lecture by Srila Prabhupada on Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 1st verse in Montreal, August 24, 1968. By service attitude. Now, how do we develop service attitude? Yeah, that's one process. Yeah, that's it. Prabhupada gives a verse. Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahya indriya sevan mukhe hi jivado swayameva spuratyada. So Prabhupada says, swayameva spuratyada. The name, form, quality, associates. When we are in service attitude, they become revealed to us. It is not that just like we ask you, what is your name? So if I ask God, oh God, what is your name? God is not subject to our such. I mean to say, challenging. We are not here to challenge the Lord. You see, He will not reveal to us His name, His form. You cannot understand. If you want to know God by your challenge, that I can understand, I can see, therefore I shall see God, then I will never see Him. So by challenging attitude, it is not possible to see Supreme Lord. You can never see. God is not under your challenge. Therefore, the qualification of understanding God is surrender. Sarva dharman parityajya. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam praja. And the process of understanding God is from God, not from others. He's so great. How we can understand by our mental speculation. So that's a very nice Prabhupada explains. And Prabhupada explains by two processes. Soyameva sprutyata atha Shri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahya indriya. By our senses we cannot understand. Lord can be understood by this jiva. This tongue has two processes. One is tasting nice prasadam, another is vibrating sound. And we have to vibrate Krishna Katha or chant the holy name of the Lord. By that process, we can understand the Supreme Lord. In fact, bhakti, there are 9 types of devotional services: Shavanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. It starts with hearing. If we don't have taste for hearing, then this change is impossible. This granthi knot, it does not get smashed, it does not get cut. There's an unlimited knot in the heart. This knot, that knot, affection knot, some is like service knot, that knot. So this knot has to be cut. Then only we can understand higher subject matter. So this bhakti is so powerful that just by hearing Shunvata Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantastopi Apadrani Vidunoti Surat Sadha. Just by oral reception, just by hearing this Bhagavad Katha or Harinam, this knot can be easily cut. So further, Prabhupada explains, Sevan Mukohi Jivado. If you are in service attitude, then beginning from your tongue, Jiva means tongue, Jivado, beginning with tongue. The God realization begins with your tongue and ear. You chant Hare Krishna and hear the transcendental name. Gradually you realize, just like an experienced man knows that there is a sun in the sky, although it is invisible. Similarly, the actual word here it is stated, Bhauni me vetitani janmani tava cha Arjuna. So God or the living entities, they are appearing and disappearing. Just try to understand the same example. Sun is always existing, but it is appearing and disappearing. Similarly, we also appear and disappear. So here Prabhupada is giving the importance of Jivado. Just by hearing and chanting, we can understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is a correspondence, Srila Prabhupada letter to Upendra in the Montreal, July 9th, 1968. So there Prabhupada explains this process of service attitude. I can only wish that Krishna give you more and more strength in understanding his transcendental nature. The only process for perceiving Krishna and his name, qualities, form is our sincere service attitude with our senses. Beginning from tongue, all our senses are practically led by tongue senses, whose business is to vibrate and to taste. If we can change the materialistic nature of the tongue by changing the taste and vibration, then automatically other senses becomes purified and we can render service to Krishna with purified senses. As such, we should try to chant and eat Krishna Prasad as much as possible. So here also Prabhupada is giving the importance of this tongue. The only process for perceiving Krishna and his form, name, qualities is sincere service attitude with our senses. And further, Prabhupada explains one more, that this Krishna consciousness is there in everyone's heart. It has to be awakened. Several times I talked about your nice qualification which you are employing amongst your visitors. Krishna consciousness is always dormant in everyone's heart. It can be awakened simply by service attitude. So Prabhupada is very focusing on this service attitude. So Srimati Radharani has one most important service attitude. Anyone renders any small service, immediately she recommends to Krishna. Oh, this devotee is doing better than me. Here we see that I am doing, that is the best. But you see Radharani's attitude. A small service anyone does, she will immediately recommend to Krishna. Oh, she is doing best. He is doing best. So that's an important quality of Radharani, that she always recommends devotees. In fact, if we have the mercy of Srimati Radharani, Krishna has to accept. There is no chance. Even he may be fool number one. Prabhupada explains that. He may be a fool number one. But if Radharani or the pleasure potency of Krishna, Srimati Radharani, if she recommends, Krishna has to accept. There's no other way. So today is a most auspicious day of Radhastami, and we had discussed many points about how this devotional service is so important. Just by rendering this devotional service, we can achieve the highest perfection. And Bhakti Devi is Srimati Radharani. She is eagerly waiting how we can render good service to Krishna, and just by rendering devotional service to Krishna, we can come out of this cycle of birth, death, old age and disease. So with that, I'll stop. Srimati Radharani ki jai. Radhastami Mahamotsav ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.